didn't mean to unleash the greatest evil the world has ever known. But we're gonna fix it.
So how do we pull that off? Figure it out over a drink?
Probably best.
Hey everyone, Garen Flowers with Cinemark at the world premiere of Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. We talked to the cast about taking the role-playing experience to the big screen. What preparation went into it? Did you play the game at all? Like, what'd you do to prepare?
I didn't. I had about 17 tabs open on my browser. I delved straight into the world. It is so expansive and just an amazing one to indulge in. I thoroughly recommend it to people who don't know anything about it to look up on it, watch the movie, see if you might become a fan. But yeah, just an epic world to find myself invited into.
I read the script.
Ooh.
Yeah. Read the script, showed up, tried to have a good time, and I'm actually serious about it. I think the whole thing about the film, or the spirit of D&D really is about showing up, being open, being present in the moment, and improvising and being as joyful and fun as you possibly can.
First thing we did before we filmed anything was we got together as a cast, played a big game of Dungeons & Dragons. We played as our characters. It was thoroughly chaotic, utterly unpredictable, and very, very fun and funny. And that's the spirit that we took into making the film.
I played a bit of the game. I watched a lot of D&D podcasts and like Critical Role and Dimension 20 and stuff like that. And what else did I do? What did I do? Watch animal documentaries.
I try and love my character. Even though he might not seem very nice, it's important that I love him and know why he's the way he is. And I write these long backstories about, you know, the difficult time he had with his mother. None of that appears on the screen, but it helps me.
Yeah, we played the game as a cast. I hadn't played before that. I'd always wanted to, but we got to see what the spirit of the game was by bonding together over it. And it's really just about like laughing with your friends and being silly and ridiculous. And I think John and Jonathan brought that same spirit to the movie.
No, it's so awesome that the movie's finally here.
Yes.
The game has been around since the 70s, so how did it feel being able to direct and write this film?
Yeah, I mean, this game is older than me, and that's pretty cool. But we also knew that there was an immense amount of pressure attached to it because there's so many people that absolutely love playing this game. We also knew we had to tell a story that wouldn't just appeal to them, but for non-fans as well.
Yeah, that combination of responsibility but also excitement at it. And hopefully we've hit the sweet spot where both fans and non-fans will enjoy it.
Listen, whenever you're taking something that's like the pinnacle of pop culture and you're trying to adapt that into a film, it's intimidating, you know, because here you are with something that people have loved and poured their heart into and their souls into for a really long time. There are games that have been going on since the 70s, you know what I mean? And so it's like a real responsibility that you have to treat really seriously, and you have to look at it like you're a custodian of the brand for a moment, and your job is to leave it in a better place than you found it, to contribute something meaningful, to like make something that is lasting and helpful to the overall vibe of the whole thing. And I think we've done that. I hope so.
The Red Wizards created an army of the undead.
Sounds lovely.
Quite the opposite.
I know, I was being ironic.
I find irony is a blade that cuts he who wields it most especially.
You're not a lot of fun, are you?
You know, people who haven't played the game before, what's your message to get them to watch?
My message is that if you like a movie that's a ride, that has heart and humor and fun, that's what this has. Like Raiders of the Lost Ark, you know?
John and Jonathan, our directors, are as much fans of movies as they are of Dungeons & Dragons. They play the game, they care about the game, they care about the players, but they deeply, deeply care about movies and the types of movies that we don't make anymore. 80s and 90s action-adventure movies. There's an innocence to the movie we don't see anymore. We've done our best to create a cynicism-free space where you can kind of just come in and enjoy yourself with your friends the same way you do when you play the game or when you are playful anywhere in your life. That's our goal.
If you could have a pet, a fantasy creature as a pet, which one would it be?
Owlbear, dude. Hands down. Owlbear.
God, I don't know. What can I pick? Fantasy creatures.
I would have an owlbear, for sure. They are so cute. I mean, I'd have to like not get eaten by it, so it would take some training, but definitely an owlbear.
So what would you consider a fantasy creature?
I think I'll be an owl bear. I like romping around and knocking things around.
I don't know. It'd be kind of a bold move to pick one of those those. I'm gonna say the name wrong. I'm just like blanked out. The beast, the disbester something beast. Don't put this on camera. I know what it is. I've said it so many times.
The ones in this movie are all dangerous. So I don't know about this movie. I really like the Rocknon. They're like these little brain creatures. So if that one wouldn't kill me, then probably that one.
No, I'm gonna pick the Mimic. I'm gonna pick a Mimic. Cut that out.
What's the best way to tell people who haven't played the game before to go watch the movie?
I think the best way to tell people who haven't played the game before is that they're going to just have a great time. And I think the movie delivers on that promise of adventure on the biggest screen possible. This is like made for IMAX, made for large premium format. Like, it's big, it's loud, it's fun. The jokes hit. You want to be in an audience and hear the people laugh. You want to feel the thrills with other audience members, and you just get to go to this movie, relax for 2 hours, and get swept away to a whole nother world that's not so dour and dark as a lot of fantasy we've gotten used to. I think this is like, takes the fantasy setting and turns it on its head and kind of makes fantasy for everybody in a way. I always had trouble getting into fantasy, and this is like a fantasy movie that I can sit and watch 24/7 because there's something about this world that's just really welcoming.
All right, y'all. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves has a whole lot of this action. Go check it out at Cinemark Theaters. You can get your tickets at Cinemark.com.
This ends now.